might have a chance of still applying your first quarter. If that's what I heard. At the very least, the transfer advisor, her name is Kate Andrup Stevenson. I would give her an email and be like, hey, why didn't I get in? Or maybe talk about ways to get in, and there might be an option for you.
All right, thank you, Lynette and Juliana. I guess, okay, I'm going through the questions and trying to see which ones more people asked. Let's talk about involvement. So what's the best way to get involved as an incoming transfer? All of y'all are involved in something, so.
I'll go. So I guess, the best advice to get involved is sort of jump right in. I was fortunate to have a friend in one of my social clubs who was on cabinet or like e-board, and I decided to join. And since then, I've met so many great friends. Most of my friends at that club are also transfer students. And then I got involved in ASUCD because I had another friend who was in ASUCD and urged me to sort of join, and here I am today. So it really helps just sort of jumping right into the sort of deep end and swimming, and you'll find friends along the way.
Does anyone have anything to add?
Yeah, I would say like identify what are things that interest you, or maybe what you want to get out of your college experience, whether that's like you want to go abroad and study, or you want to be in like student government or in a lab, or whatever your area of involvement that you want is. You should try and identify that over summer before you come here, because it's really hard once the quarter gets started to like have the time to figure things out. So if you can figure out like where you want to be involved early, that helps a ton. And then just like jump into it and be willing to be like, maybe this wasn't for me and I'm going to go try something else. That's totally okay. Like you don't need to commit to a club just because you went the first week of school. But yeah, do your research over summer, kind of see what you are interested in, whether it's just social for fun, you want to relax, or it's like for your career. Whatever it is that you're interested in, just try and have a game plan for when you get started.
All right. I see, Sabrina, you have your hand raised. Do you want to unmute and ask a question?
Yeah, is there a limit? Okay, hi, I'm Sabrina. I'm a transfer, duh. But and I'm an animal science major, and is there any way that we can work with animals, since Davis is like a veterinary #1 in the vet school? I don't know if you guys have like friends that gone the same route as me, but were there any opportunities to work in the teaching hospital?
I have so much to say on this. So like, even though I'm a poli-sci major, I grew up on a farm like 10 minutes from Davis. I've been to the vet hospital a million times with my animals. I have friends who have gone to vet school here, the whole spiel. There's a ton of opportunities. Depends on what kind of animals you're interested in. We have like the Raptor Center, the Primate Center. We have the hospital. We have like an equestrian center. We have a whole ton of labs that have to deal with animals. There's a ton of different internship experiences that you can do that deal with animals. It just depends on what you want to do and like what you're comfortable with. So I would definitely recommend going on the Davis website and start doing some research to see like what is most interesting to you, because it's really hard to get into some of those places like the Raptor Center. So you're going to need to start like reaching out and maybe possibly taking classes with those professors as soon as you can, so you can make those connections and get into those experiences, because it's a really popular thing to do. But you can volunteer for the vet hospital and be like a tour guide and do that kind of stuff. You can also just like go on a tour of the vet hospital if you want to. And then there's like other clubs and sports activities that have to do with animals, specifically like the driving club. We have an NCAA equestrian team, things like that.
I see. And then I have one more question. And regarding to the clubs, as you guys mentioned that we don't have to commit like the first week, is there a limit of how many clubs that you can join? Or like let's say I can join like 10 clubs if I can do it, kind of thing. Oh, okay. Alrighty. I'll stay in touch with you guys then. Thank you.
Sabrina, I appreciate that someone was willing to unmute. That was very cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally I just got out from work. I work at the vet hospital, so that's why I was asking. But thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so we have some questions from, we're running short on time, and I do want to make sure that all the organizations have a chance to introduce themselves. So last question, I need to pick a good one. Okay, so who do you go to for help and advice, and how much has that advice helped you? And just how do you kind of navigate advising, counseling, things like that? There's silence.
I think
Everyone's
it depends
like-
on the advice.
Everyone's like, nope.
Well, I'm just gonna be. I can't say it's
Be
not.
honest.
It's everyone's experience, but I know a lot of people, including myself, that have had a lot of trouble with advising. It is something that you sort of need to keep track of yourself and make sure you have all the receipts and you're looking at, all of the like the degree worksheets and everything like that. And also see multiple advisors, because sometimes even the littlest thing can just, completely shift your path. So my advice would be to be really, really careful with advising in terms of academic advising. And then for career goals and things like that, if you do research, if you find people that you really like in research and that you get sort of close to, those are probably the best people that you might want to ask, especially if you want to do that kind of research in a graduate school setting or in a career setting. I can say personally, my mentor in one of my labs is probably the closest person I am to in Davis, and he's been very good about giving me career advice and anything like that.
All right, I feel like that's not a good question to end on because everyone's like, meh. So last question. Do you regret coming to UC Davis? No, no one regrets it. So so if you choose UC Davis, you're making a good choice. Does anyone else want to speak?
I would do it all over again,
I would too.
And yeah, I mean, for me specifically, I never thought I would be in this role as a transfer student. Running for Senate. I ran for Senate my very first quarter, and I didn't know that was completely unheard of back then. I just did it. So yeah, if you come to Davis, really just anything is possible if you start super early and you put your mind to something. I can guarantee you it's worth it. Thanks, Logan.
All right, I'm going to share my screen again. We need to reserve some time for us to kind of introduce ourselves as organizations. We did introduce ourselves as individuals. So give me a moment. I need to, wait, okay, sorry. This is very finicky. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. So first we're going to have the Office of the Transfer Student Representative introduce themselves. So I'm going to have Logan, you're going to speak to this and introduce the office.
Sure. Hi, everybody. As you know, I'm Logan. I'm the transfer student representative, and there's the Office of the Transfer Student Representative. So our main goal is to help with transfer advocacy and transfer rights here on campus. Our mission statement is to help cultivate an equitable transfer environment and expand all opportunities for all transfer students, either current or prospective students at UC Davis. This is one of our events that we're hosting to help incoming transfers, help with advice offer some insight to being a transfer student here at UC Davis. But we welcome you and congratulations on being admitted.
Thank you, Logan. Next, we're going to have Collective. So Juliana, you're representing Collective. Do you want to speak a little bit about Collective?
Yes, Collective, we support transfer, reentry, parent, and all non-traditional students from racially underrepresented backgrounds at UC Davis, because we realize that both those identities sometimes like don't intersect in all spaces. And so we want to build an environment where both your transfer student experiences and your student of color experience is like valued on our campus. We are also hiring, so we are looking at incoming admitted students. If you want, I can drop the link. We have 2 more positions open. Have yet to finalize which 2 those are, because we did currently offer someone a position/positions. So if you are applying, please put like a second choice. Don't be shy. I worked for Collective my first year, knowing nothing. You will learn a lot in the role. But yeah.
Thank you, Juliana. And finally, we're going to have Sudave talk about the Transfer Research Society.
Hey, everybody. So as I mentioned before, the Transfer Research Society is an independent student-run organization at UC Davis. We're really dedicated to fostering a community of transfer students interested in research and research-related fields. And also, we are looking for one of our officer positions to be filled, specifically, the role of a social media coordinator. So if anyone is interested in being a part of the Transfer Research Society and has experience with social media platforms, you can shoot me an email, and we can talk about stuff. And we will have lots of meetings fall quarter where we're going to talk about how to really go about getting research positions as well as networking sessions.
All right, thank you, Sudave. So thank you all so much for coming. Don't leave yet. We're going to take like a group selfie in a bit, so just hang in there. We're almost done. So here's all our social media and websites. For the OTSR website isn't live yet. Andrew and Jada have been working very hard to make our website a thing, so it's going to be coming soon. But yeah, this is all our social media. If you have any other questions that have like not been answered, you can DM any of us. I run the OTSR social media, so if you DM the OTSR social media, I will answer, and I can like point you to any resources. And there's all our information. And yeah, thank you all so much for coming. I'm gonna stop sharing, and can all the panelists or anyone who's spotlighted unspotlight yourself so that everyone is big. Okay. And I'm gonna change to gallery view, and I'm gonna take a picture. So if anyone wants to turn on their camera just for a split second so that we can take a nice group picture for our social media. I'll give y'all a couple of moments. If you don't want to turn it on, it's fine. You'll be pushed to like page 2. But I'll give y'all a couple more moments in case anyone decides they want to. It's all good, Zainab. That's relatable. Hi, it's so great to see all of your faces. Thanks so much for coming. And I will, wait, I accidentally opened the chat. I'm gonna take a screenshot in a bit. Can we have a few more people turn on the cameras? No pressure, but like, can we have a few more people? Okay, that's good. All right. Everyone, okay, no one send anything in the chat just for a bit because the thing pops up at the bottom. So ready? 3, 2, 1. Great, thank you all so much for coming. This was really fun. I hope we were able to answer some of your questions. If not, you can always DM the OTSR Instagram and I will answer your questions or point you to someone who can answer your question. So do not hesitate. We'll be happy to help. And this was so fun. Thank you all for coming. As y'all leave, I will do the playlist again. Hold on, I need to share my audio. How do I do that? I cannot figure out how to do that. I can't figure out how to do that. Well, thank you all for coming.